Evan told us about your date.
Yeah?
Okay, but he did say there was one problem. Apparently, you ordered a bunch of food.
Yeah, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is the food that you ordered, I guess, was to take home to your kids.
Yeah, Paisley, Brian, and Jack. So what is the problem?
He feels like you sort of wronged him in making him pay for the entire bill, basically buying food for your family.
Are you kidding me right now?
No.
This is a joke, right?
No, I'm not at all. Yeah, but he feels like he was on a date with you, so he didn't have a problem buying your meal. It was just when you ordered...
and it's myself and Paisley and Brian and Jack. Like, that's the deal.
I didn't know I was paying for 4 people on a 2-person date, though. 5 people.
That's really pathetic, Evan.
She decided to order food for her entire family on their first date. What makes this story interesting is that she believes since he is taking her on a date, he is supposed to buy dinner for her children.
Hello?
Hi, is Chrissy there?
Yeah?
Hi, Chrissy. This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
What?
This is Jubal from the radio show Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
And you're calling for me?
Yeah, your name's Chrissy, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think I'm calling for you. Did you recently go out on a date with a guy named Evan?
Oh, I did.
Yep.
Is he okay? Did he die?
No, he didn't. Are you hoping that he did?
A death call?
No, this is just like super weird.
You're the Chrissy that I'm looking for. You definitely are. You went out on a date with a guy named Evan, and Evan is a listener to our show.
Okay.
All right. And after your date with Evan, he emailed us, and he wanted to see if we could get you on the phone to talk about something.
Okay, why didn't Evan just call me?
I'm not sure. Maybe he felt like this would be a conversation better for you and I to have.
All right, that sounds pretty dumb, but whatever.
Evan told us about your date.
Yeah?
And he talked about how you guys went out to a Greek restaurant.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Yep. He said he really enjoyed it. He thought you were really cool.
Cool.
Okay, but he did say there was one problem. Apparently, you ordered a bunch of food.
Yeah, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is the food that you ordered, I guess, was to take home to your kids.
Yeah, Paisley, Brian, and Jack. So what is the problem?
He feels like you sort of wronged him in making him pay for the entire bill, basically buying food for your family.
Are you kidding me right now?
No.
This is a joke, right?
No, I'm not at all. He emailed us.
Serious?
Yeah, and he said he wanted us to call you today to ask you to pay him back for the money that he spent on the extra food.
What?
Yep.
Who wants to deprive children of food? What the hell is wrong with him?
Deprive children of food? What is she talking about? I don't know whether this is delusion or entitlement. Did she go on that date to meet him or to get dinner for her entire family? He has no responsibility for someone else's children, especially when they're meeting for the first time. This was meant to be a date, not a free buffet. But the bigger question still remains. Why was she even considering the idea of finding love when she should be focused on finding a job? If you can't provide for your kids, love shouldn't be your priority. You've got more important things to address. She needs to get a job.
Yeah, but he feels like he was on a date with you, so he didn't have a problem buying your meal. It was just when you ordered...
and it's myself and Paisley and Brian and Jack. Like, that's the deal.
But you gotta understand, he didn't even know you had kids going into this date.
Look, if someone's going to take me out, they have to accept me for who I am, and I am a mother, first and foremost.
Right.
So I don't really understand what the problem is, and I think he's got some balls asking for his money.
So you honestly didn't offer to pay for any of the food that you brought home.
No, I believe in chivalry.
She claims she believes in chivalry, but at the same time, she is doing things that will make guys have a second thought when it comes to it. Later, she will be the first to complain that we aren't chivalrous anymore. Her main issue is the entitlement level. For some reason, she believes it's perfectly normal to expect a stranger to buy dinner for her entire family just because he wants to go on a date with her. The best part was when she stated that she is a package deal, and what made it more interesting is that he didn't even know that she had children. Instead of using this strategy to get food for her entire family, she should be honest from the start, as it would have made the situation better for everyone.
Like, open doors, pull out chairs, pay for the check.
Yeah, but paying for your meal is one thing. Paying for extra food so you can bring it home to your kids is another, don't you think?
Excuse me, am I on trial here? What the
No, we're literally just calling so he can get his money back because he feels like you owe him money for that.
Wow, that's pretty pathetic.
Are you? No, is it like you're going through a hard time right now and you just need help?
Hard time? No, I don't need help.
That's a valid question, and in my opinion, she shouldn't be offended, as her behavior indicates that she might be struggling a bit, because nobody who is financially okay would feel the need to use a first date to feed their child. But even if that was the case, she should have come clean, and maybe he would be willing to help. That would be a better approach to this situation.
What the No, I have a job. My kids have never had Greek food, so I thought it was a great opportunity to take them some. So really, I don't understand what your problem is.
It's just an interesting situation. I've never heard of anybody ordering extra food for their kids and then making their date pay for it.
Yeah.
Well, then you've never been on a date with me, and that's probably very likely not going to happen.
I'm sure I was thinking about asking you out right now.
The thing is, I'm a mother, so my kids are always going to get their meals when they need them. So if I'm going to go out with you, I need to make sure that they are fed. Does he have a problem with that?
She said anytime she goes out, she needs to make sure they are fed. But she failed to acknowledge they should be fed before she leaves the house. They are not supposed to be fed by the person she never seen before. I don't know what made her think since he is taking her out, he automatically became responsible for her children. Based on her level of delusion, I wonder what bill he would be expected to pay if they have a second date. I wouldn't be surprised if she would expect him to cover her rent and other bills. She was 100% in the wrong. As a mother, you should have already fed your kids before the date. The single most entitled thing I've ever heard. Why did he pay for it? On the spot, I would have said no. Little Miss Entitled. Watch out, she'll be asking child support next. Especially a first date. That is just rude.
Of course they're going to come first.
But
He does have a problem with it, yeah.
Basic manners.
Basic manners? Are you a f***ing woman hater? We're supposed to be on the same side. What are you talking about?
But your reasoning doesn't even make sense because by the time you got home, which apparently you were 1 to 2 hours late for the babysitter, which is rude in and of itself, your kids were long past dinner time.
Excuse me, how the hell do you know all of this?
That's because we talked to him about your date and he told us all that information.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's actually on the other line and wants to talk to you.
What?
Yeah. Evan, are you there?
Hey,
Wow. Hey?
I'm here.
That's all you have to say? Hey, I'm here.
Chrissy, I'm pretty upset. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really want
You
my
know
money
what,
back.
Evan?
Yeah.
It takes a real scumbag to try and take food away from children and complain about what you paid for it.
She is so smart. At this point, it's all about changing the focus of the conversation. She planned to get her kids fed on his expenses, someone who doesn't know them. Now he is the one who is taking food from her kid's mouth. I don't even know what she meant by that when they were supposed to eat before she left the house. He has nothing to do with her kid's meal. She is the one who tried to transfer her responsibilities to someone she has never seen before. If she had been honest from the start, this whole situation would have been avoided. And the funny part is that she believes he shouldn't complain about it. But why wouldn't he complain when he didn't agree to buy dinner for her entire family?
I didn't know I was paying for 4 people on a 2-person date, though. 5 people.
That's really pathetic, Evan.
What's pathetic is lying about your intentions on our date.
My intentions were clear. I liked you, and I thought you liked me. So
I just didn't know that I was paying so much money for a 2-person date, and I'd really appreciate it if you chipped in. I just think it's crazy to expect me to pay that much.
He has a valid point. He had a plan and budget for 2, but she had another idea, and this is why they found themselves in this situation. As he mentioned, she shouldn't lie about her intentions. Things would be a lot easier and less dramatic if she was honest from the start and communicated her intentions or needs. But what makes this case more interesting is the way she is handling it. She is acting as if this is the most normal thing in the world. She believes that since he took her out, her kids are entitled to free dinner.
I think it's crazy that you have to call up a radio station to fight your battles. That's pretty cowardly. What kind of man are you, Evan?
Wow.
I'm a real man.
Oh my God.
Way to state your case there, Evan.
If you were a real man, you would have paid for both bills and then asked me out on another date.
Anytime they start a sentence with a real man, we already know it won't make much sense. And this is a perfect example of it. She wants to make him believe a real man would just pay for that bill without complaint and then invite her on a second date. But the question is, why would a guy do that? Why would a guy be willing to place himself in that situation again, considering that she wasn't honest on their first date? She is going to be staying home a lot. That's ridiculous. He shouldn't have to pay for her kids. The entire world has a problem with that, Chrissy. He should have just got separate checks. And the worst of all is this lady that decided to freeload off the guy in the first date has no clue she was in the wrong. Wow. Now I know why her husband ran away. So you feed your kids before your date. The date is not responsible to feed your kids.
I didn't expect that those dinners would clear me out for the month.
The month? Oh God, Evan, are you poor?
I'm not poor, but I'm not Warren Buffett either. Your expectations of me are ridiculous, and any guy who's going to accept that doesn't have their head on straight. And I think that you should pay me back part of that dinner, and I think then we will be even.
Oh,
Steven.
poor baby, getting all defensive.
Defensive is one way to put it, but another way to put it is sticking up for myself.
Well, Evan, you're not getting any money from me.
Well, Chrissy, I would like to ask if you go on a second date with Evan. We will pay for it, so Evan doesn't even have to worry about it. Would you go out with Evan again?
The only way I would ever go out with that again is if we agreed up front that he will take me and my children together so I don't have to deal with another radio embarrassment.
At least she's upfront about the deal this time.
Evan, will you take her and her whole family out for dinner again?
Sure, I'll take her, her kids, the Queen of England. I'll take them all out. Everybody on my dime.
That sounds like a really nice date.
Yeah, it does.
Yes, congratulations, you two. I guess you guys are going out again.
Oh, wow.
You're a great man, Evan.
I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, I thought you were really saying yes. I thought the Queen of England was going to come along and everything. That's sad.
It's not his responsibility to feed your kids. Ladies, this is a huge red flag. You don't ask him to pay for your kids, girlfriends, or anyone else on a first date. If you break his budget, be prepared to contribute. He dodged a bullet. This woman didn't have the courtesy to even ask about taking food home to the children. It's not that he wants to deprive her children. Why didn't she fix their dinner before? Mother first? She should have fed her children before she left, with the food that she should already have in her home. I would have asked her out on another date and ordered a whole bunch of stuff, then leave her there to pay the bill. I mean, I think she didn't run away with the food, did she? So when the bill came, why he simple just paid his and hers and let her deal with the rest of it. If she refuses to pay, it's your problem then. At least he was able to remove himself from that situation before it got more dramatic. I don't know why she doesn't feed them before leaving the house. This is what is expected of those who are taking care of children. The good thing is that he is smart. And since he doesn't want to pay anybody's rent on a second date or maybe child support on the third date, he made the right choice. Now she will have to find a guy who will be willing to go along with her expectations. But based on what she wants, we already know she will find a lot of challenges down the road. She's going to stay at home for a long time, as there aren't many guys ready and willing to entertain her dating expectations. The sad part about this story is that she has no idea that this isn't normal.